guys, welcome back to another episode of Level Up. We are back in the shed this afternoon for another cracking episode. Look, another one that I'm really excited about, another builder, another member of Live Life Build's Elevate program, and another builder that has come an incredible long way in the last couple of years. So I'm really pleased to have him sitting in the hot seat to have a chat about where he was at, and where he is now. So big warm welcome to Todd from Highwood Building. How are you, buddy?
Thanks, Duayne. Going good.
Been a bit of a mission to get here today.
It has, yeah. I left Sydney in an absolute rainy hellhole, and it's good to be up here in the sunshine.
Yeah, it is absolutely blowing its ass off here today, so I think that might have led to some of your delays. But anyway, mate, we got a lot to talk about. Like you're kicking goals. You've come a long way in the last couple of years. How long have you been with Elevate?
So over 2 years now. I don't know exactly, but yeah, over 2 years. Yep.
Yeah. So take us back before we start getting into business and those types of things. Like, give us a little bit of your background. How did you become a builder? How did you get into it?
So I was an apprentice with my dad. Worked with him for, I think it's probably about 12 years, maybe 11 years. And yeah, started out with him. We did renovations. We did pretty widespread range of work, and loved it. We were doing really good work. Finished my trade with him, and then stayed with him working for a few more years after that. We were sort of doing really nice architectural work in Sydney, and I was learning a lot, so I was happy to stay and keep learning. But inevitably, yeah, just decided to go out on my own and give it a crack.
I know when you first reached out to come to Elevate, you're a little bit iffy on it, because the main reason you were sort of reaching out was because you knew there had to be a better way to do things, and you wanted to hit the ground running a bit because you hadn't been going very long for yourself, have you? Yeah,
I think also when I started, so I was working with my dad. We were doing nice work. We were doing really good jobs. And I didn't want to go out on my own and then sort of go back to, doing smaller jobs and work my way back up to the jobs we were doing. So I sort of wanted to use the time while I was with him to sort of hone my skills and learn what I could. And then when I went out on my own, tackle the kind of jobs that we wanted to from the outset, which we did. We sort of got lucky. We got a good job that came through, which was exactly the kind of work that we like to do. Which is like renovating terraces in Sydney and the older houses. And that was good. We went from that to a bigger job, and then from that to another similar job after that. And it was really good in the sense that we were doing the work that we wanted to do. Although because they were bigger jobs, I was learning big lessons, and I wasn't getting the feedback quick enough. Like if you were doing decks or doing smaller projects, you're getting that feedback pretty quick.
So what do you mean by feedback?
Well, like
you're not making money.
making mistakes, or nothing wrong with the builds. That we were doing great jobs, but it was more just a bit like the business side of things where I was struggling. And so for me, like although we were doing really good work and I loved the jobs that we were doing, for me it was a bit of a hard journey those initial couple of years. It was also through COVID as well. So we had, some people did quite well through COVID. We struggled with materials and availability. And so there was a lot of lessons wrapped up in that as well. So, did you do any of the business side of things when you're working with your dad? No, not at all. So it was just myself. There was another carpenter, and yeah, we did renovation sort of work. So he was managing everything on his own, and yeah. So did you have any idea of what was involved in the business side of it? No. Like I wasn't completely naive to it. Like I enjoyed when I was working with him. I was using that time to sort of learn to manage jobs, but it was more only from like a project point of view, not like a business point of view. So yeah, I guess I kind of jumped into it, and we worked things out. Like nothing really went wrong dramatically, but it was just lots of lessons picked up in those first few years. So how did you know how to price the job and make money and like? it's funny. Like I actually remember taking my first job, I think, to Dad, and I think I'd gone through and sort of worked it all out, and he was just in his office, sort of eating an apple, and he looks over, he's like, "Yeah, I had a look through that. Looks all right." I went, "Oh yeah, cool. That's it?" He goes, "Yeah, well, looks all right." And so I was like, "All right, cool, sweet, away we go." And
that was it. You signed a contract.
I mean, I was confident with like my like hours and materials and stuff like that. Like, I'm pretty good with planning and setting out spreadsheets and doing all that stuff. But obviously, like, there's so many things that are unforeseen, especially in those, you know, smaller terrace jobs. And so, yeah, man, I learned a lot of lessons early. So,
So, like in your early days when you were starting out on your own, were you in communication with your old boy a bit, like asking questions and stuff, or was that sort of off the table?
It wasn't off the table. Like, we spoke about stuff, but not really. Yeah, no, not really. Like, not that I wouldn't reach out. Like, I would for sure, but I guess just didn't. Yeah, he was doing his thing. I was doing my thing. Yeah, both pedaling away.
Yeah. So what made you get to a point where you thought, shit, I need a bit of a hand with what I'm doing here?
I think it was so when COVID happened, we had one job where like we couldn't get sheets. We were driving around like all of Sydney trying to get sheets for plaster, and there was just multiple things through a couple of jobs because it was over 2 jobs for us that really took a pinch for us. And so it was at that point where I was like, oh, it's really not that easy. I think when you start, it's all, you know, you're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and you got everything set up and you're just pedaling away. But I think it's also easy just to keep pedaling. You don't have much time to sort of look back and see what's going wrong. But I think actually for us that COVID was actually a blessing, that it highlighted problems that we probably wouldn't have picked up on had that not occurred.
Yeah.
And so I was actually grateful that happened, because the jobs going forward, I was able to pick up on errors that maybe wouldn't have showed up if COVID hadn't have been there.
Yeah.
And so that allowed me to sort of look back and go, all right, well, there's a lot of things that we need to fix and get right first. So
is New South Wales similar to Queensland? Like, to get your builder's license, you've got to sit a bit of a business, like 3-day business course. They talk you through a building contract and then give you a license. So what happens down there?
So you do a certificate 4, which is the normal path is you're a carpenter and you go through the certificate 4. I think that course has actually been condensed down quite a lot from what it was. So I actually finished the Cert 4 wanting more information. And I was like, I remember going through the course and being like, this can't be it. Like, we've sort of glazed over a few subjects, but we haven't gone into much depth. So I went out after that and sought more help through an online university and did a diploma of construction project management, which helped. It helped more so with like managing bigger projects and planning and all that sort of stuff. But really nothing on the business front, like nothing. And it's certainly a huge hole that's missing. Cause
it's crazy, isn't it? That builders and even traders these days can literally get a license and like within, sometimes could be a matter of weeks, you're signing a contract for hundreds or millions of dollars. Yeah. And you're expected to know how to manage and control and maintain and quality and like run teams. Like it's just insane.
Yeah, and I think the home warranty was a huge thing. Early home warranty in New South Wales can be tricky when you're starting out, especially if you're a company. And so learning a lot about that, like there could be a course individually on home warranty and what they want, because honestly, like that's a huge part of running a business. Certainly in New South Wales, you need to manage that. So
yeah, I know as much as people hate it, it's probably something that needs to be rolled out to other areas of Australia. Like you look at Tasmania where they don't have any of that. Yeah, like it's only, like, I know it can be painful, but it's only a good thing.
Yeah.
like making businesses manage their cash flow, understand their numbers to make sure they're not going to go belly up during a build. But so yeah, like what was the final straw, I guess, to go, shit, I'm gonna go and look for something and get some help with this?
Look, I think it was just the overwhelm. I actually remember the phone call I first had with you. I was at the front of this job. We just demolished it, and I was just like, oh man. Just this feeling of overwhelm. We'd had 2 big jobs that got finished, and I was fine. Like I'm very confident with like building a house. I've no problem. Like there's nothing I've come across in a job where I'm like, oh man, I can't do this. It's just the business side of things. So I think it was that overwhelm of just not knowing what I didn't know. And then I reached out to a few different coaches at that same time. And I just didn't really gel with anything like they were saying, and then I sort of came across your stuff. I think it was through Amelia actually, and then came across you, and then I just feel like there was just I was very aligned with it, with what you were teaching, and it was just
we live and breathe it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's I think it does make a very big difference, but I've seen your work, mate, on socials, and it. Like, you do some pretty complicated stuff. Like, we don't have anything like those little terrace houses here in Brisbane. Like, we have little workers' cottages and things in town where they're small lots, and we've recently finished one of them. And every time you do it, it's a learning curve because you don't realise how much time is taken up moving shit around manually because there's no room to do anything.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, I understand where you're at, and I think all builders can. Like, when you're so confident in building and you can pick up a very detailed set of drawings and you can take that from a set of pages to a finished project, it can be very hard to, like, you can be very hard on yourself to think, shit, what's wrong with me? Like, why can't I make this work? What's going on? Why has my bank account got no money? Like, why am I having all these issues? Like, I can do this shit.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's far more than just being able to, like, running a business in the construction industry is far more than being able to do your trade.
Yeah, absolutely.
And build the building.
Yeah, I said to someone recently, I said, it sounds stupid and people would think this is ridiculous to say, but the problem with building, or not the problem with building, but the hardest thing with a building business is not building houses and building homes. It's making the business work to be profitable. And that's it. If you could go to work and just someone kept everything on behind the scenes and you just worked away, it's fine, you know. You just make things work, you come across issues, you resolve them, but it's keeping all of it together at once and keeping everything moving. It's tricky and it can be overwhelming, and that's why I sort of reached out. Like I was confident with what we were doing and what we were building and stuff, but I needed more help behind the scenes. Yeah.
It's hard. Like, so many people, it's hard to have conversations with people that aren't builders, isn't it? Because unless you've tried to run a building business, you really can't get your head around it.
Yeah.
And the best way I can explain it is it's 2 businesses. Like, you have the construction part of it, which a lot of people are really good at, and you have the business part of it. Yeah. And without the business part of it, the construction part falls over really quickly.
Yeah, yeah.
You'll end up working your whole life, like, just busting your ass to try and stay above water.
Yeah, exactly.
So, mate, what were the biggest changes, I guess, once you started? Like, did you know what you needed to work on, or
I did. Look, I knew overheads for me initially were an issue because we were tracking our projects and stuff like that with, like, in terms of costs, and we were executing the jobs well. For me, it was just initially it was just that profit and cash flow, and so learning overheads, like what is an overhead, because initially I just sort of jumped into I think it was MYOB originally, and just sort of went away running the business and putting things where I thought they should be, and then that was it, and we just kind of kept pedaling. But I knew that I just wasn't doing everything properly. I needed help. I didn't really know where to reach out in terms of, like, bookkeeping and stuff like that. We had a bookkeeper at the time, and so I knew I had to make a change. I think initially it was overheads, And then also we had an issue with home warranty, which we had to resolve as well. So there was a lot of moving parts for it.
It can be hard. Like if you're in a situation where you're good with data and you're quoting the jobs accurately and you're tracking all your costs as you're building the project and they're lining up. Like you can see on paper you've allowed enough for carpentry, framing, whatever it may be, but you're looking at your bank account and you're like, why have I got no money? Like we're invoicing for this, we're covering our costs. Like what's going on here? Because overheads is something that I don't know why we're not taught about overheads at school. Like it should be a subject.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter what industry, and every business has overheads.
Yeah.
The amount of people that reach out to me, overheads is one of the first things I ask people, like, what's your overheads? And the amount of people that respond with, I don't have any. Like, mate, every business has overheads. Yeah. Oh, no, it's fine. I own my car. I've only got my phone. Like, oh, what about all your insurances? What about fuel to get to and from work? Like, what about this? What about that? And you're like, oh, shit, is that overheads? Like, it's plus the fact that, like, every business owner needs to get paid for the role they play. Are they the sorts of things that you were missing out?
Yeah, and I think also, like, so we were doing... I was sort of brought up, a lot of the jobs we were doing with Dad previously were cost plus contracts. I wanted to just be wiped from that. I don't like cost plus contracts. I don't like what they do to the relationship in the building.
What was that? What have you seen?
I think it becomes, like with a cost plus contract, I find it just becomes, everything becomes so focused on the money and focused on counting everything out, you know, whether it's tracking hours and doing it, which is totally fine, but it brings the relationship away from, like, we're providing a service, like a complete package service. And by going into a cost plus contract, in my opinion, the whole way through that job, everything's coming back to price and this, and it just becomes this to and fro. And
yeah, the focus gets taken away from the experience that the client should be having.
The experience, yeah, exactly. And for me, that was one of the driving forces of me going out on my own, was to have good client experiences. Like we wanted to build good houses for good people from the outset, and relationships for us is huge. And there's no better feeling than walking away from a job and having a good relationship with that family. Like you know, better than making a profit, in my opinion. Like you could walk away and not make any money. If you got a good relationship and you build a good house, then that's successful.
But they go hand in hand. Like 9 times out of 10, if you build a great relationship with a client, they're happy to pay you what you need to make a profitable business.
Yeah.
And so you get both. You get the good relationship and the profit.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so it's one of those things, you don't know what you don't know, do you? Like, and look, I think I class every day as a school day. Like every single day there is stuff to learn in running a business. So, but you just talk to it like a duck to water. Like, I know you're very humble, and I feel you're very hard on yourself. Like, mate, you just bloody took away a wardrobe full of trophies from Live Life Build's bloody awards night.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you're kicking goals. So, like, how... And you, like I said, you took to it like a duck to water. Like, what was the driver? Like, were you seeing progress quite quickly, and that drove you just to keep improving more and more?
Yeah, I think... Like, I love work. I love building. I love work. I love the office side of things. Like, so I guess in some respects I'm a bit of a workaholic. But I think for me, when I joined up with Live Life Build, having a path where I could sort of see things clearer, knowing that I'm not going to pedal a million miles in the wrong direction. For me, that was just, it gave me clarity that I could go, all right, sweet. Like, I was aligned with the fixed price teachings that you guys go on about. And I was like, this is my jam. The pack process, like collaboration, working with the clients, like this is exactly where I want to be. And so for me, I knew that it was just, I can just push as hard as I can down this road because I know that's where I want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the pack process, because there's still a lot of people out there saying that that's crazy. People won't pay to get a proposal.
Yeah, so the pack process for us has been huge. It's one of those things where, like, now I look back when we were starting to do it, Like we've improved it a lot over the years, and like now we're at a really good spot with it. I think initially the first few, like it's a daunting thing to go out and sort of do, especially like being brought up around architects and builders and stuff who were just, you know, spinning tenders, and that's the only way forward. And we were getting sent a lot of tenders, a lot of nice work to do, and I just didn't want to be involved with it. So for me, I was straight into the pack process.
So how did you get the courage to say no to those jobs when you needed work?
So we were initially, when we were working on jobs before we started with you guys and doing the pack process, we weren't charging for quotes and stuff, but we were working with them from the start and spending a lot of time with our clients to get it to a point where we can sign a contract, because it's a fixed price contract and that's the work we need to do. And so the progression kind of made sense for me and the process made sense. It was more the confidence to go out and ask for it. But now looking back, like the time that we spend in that process is huge. And like I know now, I even look back on jobs where like the first pack process we did, I look back on that and there was things that we should have spent more time on before we signed the contracts that would have made that job flow better. Just little selections and stuff like that. And so now I'm sort of a lot more firm with it, and that comes into having a better workflow as well. Like everything's connected. You can't be sort of pushing back on jobs if you don't have the workflow there. It's all kind of connected in a big circle, I think. So,
yeah. Oh, it definitely is, and the universe is crazy what it gives you back once you connect all the dots. And look, you've definitely had a lot of success with the pack process and things. But one thing I like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you're very much wanting to build healthy homes, and you're leaning more towards passive house. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And you've gone as far as starting to write into your contracts the air changes per hour.
Yeah. So we like to be fair, like we've never done a certified passive house. So initially before I started Haiku, I went out and did the passive house course, and for me that was huge, super enlightening, and it just made so much sense. And then I sort of went down the healthy home route and learned about that. And I think all these things together, like for me, there's no one way to go about building a house, and I don't want to pigeonhole myself into anything, but every client, every family's different and got different, like everyone lives differently in their houses. And so it's learning about all the different ways that we can build and kind of piecing together, like we've got non-negotiables now with the way we do our houses, which is like your external wrap, like a really good quality, like Pro Climber wrap, ventilated cavity batten, good insulation inspections.
So who's doing the installation inspections?
So we just have a checklist that we go through. It's we just take photos of each wall, each ceiling, all that sort of stuff. But just doing that, like that's not going overboard. You're not spending much more. Like, and you obviously high quality windows, like double glazed windows. And I mean the way things are moving with the code, I think that should be the minimum. Like, and after what we've learned through all this process, there's nothing I've learned that you'd take out and go, oh no, we'll just leave that out for this job and we'll go back to doing it the old way.
Once you understand how a building performs, and definitely the wraps and the cavity batten and the windows, like you can't go back. It's you really got to treat every building like a living, breathing thing. Like, but like that sort of thing is giving your clients a lot of confidence. Like to see that you're pushing so hard that you've made that a standard. Like if they build with Haiku, this is what you get. Yeah.
Well, like I think you have to, like if you're selling like the wrap and you're selling all this, you need to sort of be testing it at the end of the day. Whether or not you're going to passive house standards, or a lot of the houses we do are old terraces. So you're dealing with a party wall. You might be dealing with a timber subfloor. And a lot of that comes into it. It's really, really hard in terms of air sealing. So some of the jobs, like we've done slabs all the way through. One we've got on at the moment, which is like half concrete, half subfloor. It's tricky, and you spend so much time in doing it. It's it can be a lot, and you go through, and even still now, like we track all our data and timesheets and materials and all that sort of stuff. And I know there's so much time that goes into it on those old jobs.
So was that a client requested thing, or was that like the air change, like writing air changes per hour into a contract? Is that something that you're wanting to do?
So that was a conversation with the client about that, because it was, I think it's fair enough, because they were asking about, they're going to spend all this money on the wrap, and how do we know it's going to perform? And so, we just wrote it in for that one, and I think it's the way it should be.
100%. And I don't know, I feel like a lot of builders out there don't even understand that it's actually already in the building code. Like, we are supposed to be building under, I think it's under 10 air changes an hour.
Yeah, but I actually would like, and I know they're talking about like, going back and testing and giving some sort of certification to jobs in the future, but I think it'd be good to have some sort of certification that's like a stamp. So when you're selling that house, whether it's an old beaten up cottage or whether it's a new build that you've just completed, it comes with all that information, like a washing machine, like 4.5 stars.
Mate, I'm 100% with you there. It's something we're introducing into our building business. Like Paula Baker-Laporte gave me the idea when she was in here. Like she said, why don't our houses have, like, you go to the supermarket and you buy food, like every label has to have on the sugar, the carbohydrates, like all that stuff. Like, why should our houses not have a sticker on the inside of the kitchen cupboard that says this is the RVO, this is the type of insulation that it had, this is a building wrap that it had, like this is how many air changes it had per hour. To me, and I do believe it will go that way, and I do believe that any builders that are going to that length, and like it's something, like I said, we're going to create our own little stickers for that. I believe it's something that will add value when the house comes time to get sold. Because to me, it's just a no-brainer. Like, once you know how all this stuff works, it's and I feel like COVID has really, like, obviously COVID highlighted a lot of things, especially like people living healthier. And I really feel that's now starting to push through. Like, everyone's been going to farmers markets and eating healthier, and now they're starting to figure out, well, shit, our house has a big part to play in our life. We need to be doing things that make our sleeping better, our environment better, like our air quality better.
100%. Like we've I guess we've been lucky from the start. We've attracted good clients that have been like-minded in that sense. So the area that we do work in, like in inner west of Sydney, there's I don't know, for whatever reason, we've had like a really, really good run of clients, and everyone's super aligned. They're on the same page. So you're not sort of, it's not that I'm selling something. Like
mate, you're putting yourself out there.
Yeah, you just, like, I'm teaching them how we should be.
You're too humble, mate. You're attracting these clients. Like, It's not just magically happen. Like, you're putting it out there.
Yeah, but I think it's up to us as builders in that initial stage to be teaching them about this stuff as well. Not necessarily like railroading them into one type of building, but just teaching them what's important, why it's important, and what it does, because it's a huge investment. And like I know for me, once I learnt this stuff, I was just like, oh man, I can't believe people are actually building houses now who don't know this. It's like, this is scary. Like
You talk about these things on your socials, but don't you as well?
Yeah. And I mean, that's something I've only just started getting comfortable with, I guess, talking on socials and doing this sort of stuff. So
but I think in the past I've seen some good stills. Like you've done posts where you're commenting and educating people on. And I think all that stuff adds value. Like, that'll be adding value to your clients without you even realising it. Like, someone might be following you for 2 years, seeing all your little tips and tricks, and when they decide to build, they're reaching out because they align with you.
I think it's good. Like, we've actually had a job recently that came through a energy assessor, which was cool. Which is the first time that's happened, and I think that's awesome. I think energy assessors are great. I think they should be involved in pre-construction, and I think it's awesome that people or clients are actually reaching out to someone like that this was just a small renovation, reaching out to an energy assessor before they start a renovation. So I think it's awesome. It shows that there's you know, people are certainly concerned with health, and you know, they want to live in better homes.
Yeah.
So.
I'm going to go back to the data and the numbers and things, mate, because you quite often in our Zoom calls for Live Like Bill, like I can see you sitting back and you're very quiet, and then every now and then you'll jump in with a question. But
Yeah.
I feel like you're definitely very humble, but like you're really refining how your business operates based on the data you're getting, aren't you?
Yeah, we've gone pretty ham on the data side of things. Like, I think as the business has grown and we've taken on more jobs and more staff and stuff like that, we came into new problems that we didn't have before. And so we kind of fixed our overheads, and then we had more jobs that came through, and then more workers, and then we had different problems. So I think data's huge. And so for us, we reached out to Katie from Profit First and got their team. She has a team of bookkeepers who do tradie bookkeeping, and did a complete overhaul of our books, which was huge. I wasn't confident with our like Xero file to say that when I logged on there, that's exactly a snapshot as today. So I knew I wanted more confidence in that, and I wanted to be able to look at these numbers, and like I'm really I'm good with spreadsheets and I'm good with numbers and all that sort of stuff. I love it, and for me, it gave me more visibility. So yeah, we went pretty turbo on it. I've got a bunch of spreadsheets that we track each month. So I've got, I don't know, maybe 20 or 25 KPIs that we track each month.
And what sort of things are they?
So revenue, gross profit, net profit, assets versus liabilities, number of employees, revenue per employee, all that sort of stuff. So then I can go through and see, like, I can pinpoint when I was most stressed and go back and see, all right, cool. Oh, we had like 7 guys then and this happened, and you can see it. And so you're making better decisions off the right things.
Making educated decisions.
Educated decisions, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. But not knowing everything, you're just guessing, like just saying, oh, I'm just whinging about overheads because, I don't have enough money on overheads. But it's probably not that. Maybe it's employees. Maybe it's the revenue. Maybe it's something else. So
yeah, you can't, if you don't track your data and break it down and review it, you're simply just making assumptions all the time.
Yeah.
There's no, like it's all guesswork.
Yeah.
So how do you think that's well, you've just mentioned stress. Like a lot of people listening to this are probably thinking like, I just don't have the time to do all that, or I'm no good at spreadsheets and those types of things. But have you found that just knuckling down, putting the time into those things has actually given you more time and reduced all your stress?
For sure. It's so having all our Xero file and everything up to date, and proper, like the way it should be. That was the first step, and that was huge. Then tracking the numbers in your project management system. Like for me, like I don't enter all of the data each month. We've got a VA who goes through and ticks a lot of them off, and then I come through and fill in the blanks. But it just becomes part of the routine, and I actually find comfort in a lot of that stuff, like the overhead calculator that we use in Live Life Build, the projected revenue. Like they form part of this spreadsheet that I've got. And
I love that you're using the assets liability one as well. Like that's
huge. Like it's more a business assets liabilities. So because to me that's the one.
It's a report card.
That's the one. Like that is the one. If you get that sitting right and sitting consistent, then you're doing good. So, and you can see when it's tracking down, you're like, okay, cool. And you track it back up, and it just gives you clarity. Like, and I actually find comfort in that. When I'm stressed about stuff, I can go through. We actually project all of this forward as well. So that same spreadsheet we use, I have a running tab for the next 6 months, and I can project forward the progress claims that we'll have in. So I can plan the next 3 months, and it gives me clarity. I actually, yeah.
Does it help you, like with your family life as well, like with confidence? Like I know I have a very much higher level of risk than what my wife Camille has, and like, but having all those documents like yourself,
and being able to look at them and clearly see, and again, forecast 3 months, 6 months, 12 months down the track, and it gives Camille a lot of confidence in decisions we're making and all that type of like. I don't know, like everyone's very different. Like I like it because I make educated decisions based off it. She likes it because it just gives her confidence knowing that we're safe doing it.
Yeah. I think for me, it's definitely, I definitely use it as a comfort thing. Like if I'm feeling stressed, rather than kind of just, hiding or doing whatever people do when they're stressed, like I'll just walk up, go up and sit up in the office, go through the projected revenue calculator, go through my overheads, see where things are at, and soon enough, like you can get a gauge for it and say, okay, it's not that bad. It's just a spot. Because in like a building business, like you can go from month to month and you have terrible months and then you get really good months. It's not, there's lots of ebbs and flows with it. So it's easy to get caught in the now and say, oh, this is the worst. It's the end of the world. And but you got to zoom out a little bit. I always say to my wife, Laura, if in doubt, zoom out. You got to
that's a good one. That's the name of this podcast. If in doubt, zoom out. That's a good one. So let's talk about team for a bit, mate. That's another one that a lot of businesses struggle with. Like you've had a lot of growth. Like how have you gone about building your team?
Yeah, so we initially I struggled to find an apprentice. I think I went through like 5 apprentices in the first 4 months. Like I was hiring on attitude. Like I just wanted someone who was keen and wanted to turn up to work. Anyway, I found someone. He stayed with us for a long time and obviously became a tradesman and did his time with us. And then from then it kind of just, it was all very organic. I think it kind of just flowed on. We had a few that didn't make it through. And now we've got, we actually had quite a big team last year. We had up to like, big for us was like 6 at 1.7 with an overlap. And then now we've come down to 4, but recently we've been really under the pump. I've had a guy away on holidays at the moment. And so, team's been tricky. But we've got a really good team. I've got a young apprentice at the moment who's just awesome. Really, it's hard to find people with that good attitude who are keen, I think. But
do you think having such clarity around the type of work you want to do and the things you want to deliver for your client has helped attract the team members that you need?
Possibly, yeah. I think we have always had good workflow and consistent types of jobs, I guess. So I think that has probably helped, yeah, for sure. And we had initially it was a really good camaraderie. It was very fun on site, and I think so people came to work with us, and things just gelled and it just kind of happened. But I do think I kind of fluked my way through that, and we ended up with a good team.
Seriously, you're the most humble bloke I've ever come across. Like it's like getting blood over a stain. You've put in a lot of work, mate, in the last couple of years. Like I've seen the changes and the growth that you've had. Like Are you on site a lot on your sites?
Look, I think last year I was off site more because we were I was sort of implementing a lot in the office and doing a lot of back end work last year in the office, getting estimates ready and all that sort of stuff. And so this year with the team being reduced, I've been on site a lot more. But I love being on site. For me, it's I want to get the business to a point where I can be on site and not just coming in and kind of annoying my team. But for me, I enjoy being on the tools. I enjoy that flow state of just framing or concreting or all the big days that are really stressful. I love that stuff.
I'm the same. It's unreal talking to tradies that are passionate about their job. Like they all talk about getting in that flow.
Yeah.
There's something about having a good day on the tools and everything just smash. Like it's very different to having a big day in the office. Yeah.
I got to be really structured in the office for me to have a good day. Otherwise it's not very productive. Like I need to structure it in a way where I'm getting stuff done. I feel like I'm getting things done. Otherwise, I can get a bit lost. Whereas, on site, it's just, especially when there's lots happening, like those big days, lots of people, very stressful. Like, I don't know, it's just, I guess my mind, I just like that.
Do you think it's the problem solving, like just having to figure things out on the fly?
Yeah, I think problem
get
solving
stuff
for
done?
sure. Yeah, but I think the busyness as well, like that quiet in the office where it's just me and I'm accountable to only myself. It's like it can be hard to sort of push through and get a lot done, but that's why I just got to be careful with the way you structure it and do stuff in the middle of the day to try to get out and get back into it.
So how have you managed to get the time to step away and be able to work on the business?
That was tricky. It was tricky initially. I actually struggled with that with the team. So especially that first carpenter I had, doing his apprenticeship with him and working alongside him for so long, then turning that into then me developing into a business owner was really tricky to manage. And I think for me, there's always that, like as a builder, you've always got that camaraderie between your team and that, and it's not that you want to see it go, but at some point you need to step back and get in the office because it's just, there's so much time that goes into the office that's like, I still can't believe how much I have to do. Like I got a VA who helps, who is amazing. But still there's so much that goes into it. I kind of sold it to my team in a way that like I need to be in here to do this, to get this stuff planned so things are arriving on time. If I'm not in the office, if I'm helping you on site with things, it's going to push on site, then we're going to fall behind anyway. So
the office is it's far bigger than what most people realise. So how do they, like, do you have regular communication with them and let them know what you're working on, what's coming up and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I try to be consistent with my office days, but to be honest, the last 6 months I haven't been. I did have a good flow last year, but I try to sort of have certain days where or plan it at least at the start of the week where I am in the office, which was Tuesdays. But so I do try and, like, we have a weekly kickoff at the start of the week and just run them through my week of where we're going to be at. So,
Yeah, those weekly site or regular site meetings are really valuable, aren't they? Like, so your team's not fluffing around. They've got some structure their week. You set intent for the week. Have a plan there. So, like, how does your team work when you're not there? Like, is there a lead carpenter? You got a supervisor?
Yeah, so we've got like basically a lead carpenter on each job, and then it was an apprentice and then another carpenter. So so it's just, we have like obviously like the chats and stuff, and I generally at the moment I'll go there in the morning and set them up for the day, and we'll go through what needs to be spoken about and documented, and they're in touch with Shannon, who's in the office as well, and so if they need anything, it's straight to them. And like, I find I'm quicker. Like if I'm in the office and going through things, I can be quicker to get stuff back to them anyway. So it's
Can we talk about your VA for a minute? Because I really feel like VAs add enormous value to construction businesses, and it can be a little bit overwhelming, I guess, to get your head around how you can work with someone that's not sitting in your office.
I'd never really knew where to start with that, especially like having someone in the office. It was a big one for me because I'd never had like an in-house bookkeeper. I'd never had anyone sort of in an admin role at all, and so initially I didn't know what it was supposed to be like. So the first VA that we had was a little bit unsuccessful, but initially I didn't know what to expect, so I kind of let it go for a bit. But once I sort of refined the role and worked out what that role was, that was huge. But it has been a game changer. It's meant that I can implement the things that I should be doing, because otherwise you just don't have time. Like it can be really hard. So having someone who can, also finish the things that you start, because I think me as a person, my personality, like I'm very good at coming in and starting things and setting things up, and that's something I've learned. I think you learn a lot about yourself in business, and I'm very good at getting a flow on with things and setting things up, and here's how we're going to do it, and coming up with ideas and stuff like that. When it comes into the weeds of just doing day-to-day things, I'm like, oh, no, just no.
Yeah.
So
what sort of tasks have you got your VA doing?
So Shannon, our VA, is she's awesome. She wears a lot of hats. She does, timesheets, project management. So like as in managing the software that we use. We were using an older software which linked into spreadsheets. So she was managing all the timesheets, the job photos, like file management, emails, calendar management, scheduling, like Instagram posts, all that sort of stuff. But to be honest, I think the main thing she does is she holds me accountable. Like having someone else there who, like I know what I need to do, but I think in business, especially when I'm kind of on my own in the business, like as a sole director, there's only yourself to hold you accountable. And so I think having her has been really good, and me giving her free rein to pull me up on things where, we need to be getting more done, or I need to be more consistent with certain things. So it's been really massive for us having a VA.
So mate, what's on the cards for Haiku? Like you've definitely, well, actually, before we go there, let's talk about your awards. You needed a truck to get them home, but actually, more important than your awards was your little awards ceremony when you got home. I thought that was absolutely brilliant. So tell us about
that. So I got home. I'm trying to think of the actual. So I got home, and so I got a lovely wife at home, Laura, and 3 beautiful kids, 6, 4, and 2 at that time. And I got home, and they were sort of stoked that I'd gotten awards, and so Laura had awarded them their own little awards when I got home for the best kid who was well behaved while I was away. And I think one of them was for doing a poo on the toilet. I think the other one was for I can't remember. There was 3 of them, but it was super cute to come home to, and they were all wide awake at whatever it was, 10 o'clock when we got home. So
it's so cool. I thought that was
cool.
really, really cool. But talk us through your awards. Like you, like I said, you've put in the effort and you got rewarded for it.
Yeah. So, I mean, going through that process with Live Life Build was actually, I found it, I think you can get, and I certainly can, get bogged down in the gap of where you are, like the gap versus gain. So like seeing where you are and where you could be or where you want to be. And so for me, going through that process of filling out those award entries and stuff like that, for me was quite cathartic in that I was giving myself room to sort of recognise the changes that I had made. So that was huge, just going through the process of applying, and I probably got enough out of it to stop there. But then to get the awards was absolutely was awesome. Like not that I don't do well with it, but I was pretty taken aback from the whole thing, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, you definitely deserved it. So what? For those that don't know, Live Like Build does this year was our 2nd year, so we do annual awards nights. This year was definitely special. Like we hired Movie World, bloody loaded everyone on a bus and rocked up to Movie World. No one knew where we were going, so that was the venue that Kerry organised was friggin' insane. Yeah. But yeah, tell us about the actual awards.
So I took out the Healthy Home Award, which for me was huge. That's somewhere where we've done a lot of work in our business, and it's something that my wife Laura she did the course with me, and she's bringing her skill set into Haiku and working out where she can come into the business. So that was really good. We also took out the Partnerships Award, which was for building partnerships with clients and architects, which I guess when I look at it, we've done pretty good in that sense. And the Systemization Award, I got a highly commended for that one as well, which I was very rapt with. But the standout member of the year for me was, that was pretty special. There's been so many builders in this community that are so inspirational to me. But to be recognised in a room with, you guys and all of those builders was huge.
Yeah, well, you deserved it, mate. Like one thing
Amelia and I have wanted to do with Live Life Build, like we didn't want it to be just like the average awards that the industry has and based on dollar value of homes and size of business and those types of things. And so the healthy home one is something that's very important for us. We believe that people in the industry that are putting in the effort to deliver their clients healthier homes definitely deserve to be represented.
Yeah.
The partnership one is something else I think that needs to, like, that's obviously why we've got an award for it. Like, it needs to be something that gets spoken about, because ultimately for you to have a successful business, like you have to be good at collaboration. You've got to be building partnerships with clients, designers, architects, engineers. Like, there's so many people involved. And yeah, systemization, like, it takes a lot of work to systemize a business. So you put in the effort, mate, and you like, you're obviously seeing the rewards from systemizing your business. So mate, you deserve the awards. So
yeah, no, I was super wrapped. To be honest, I couldn't sleep that night. I got back to the hotel room. I just like didn't want to go out drinking or anything, so I just went to bed. But I was just like, I was pretty rattled by the whole thing. It was awesome. I really loved it. And I mean, that room, movie world, the whole scene was just epic. But there's so many builders in that group who, like, I certainly look up to everyone in that group, and I've learned so much from everyone there. So it's just awesome.
No, it's well deserved, mates. But yeah, so where to now? What's your goals with Haiku? You just like you're working on the healthy home stuff, just getting better.
Yeah,
better and better?
we're working on. I'd like to bring more of a service to our pack process with the healthy home. I think healthy homes is tricky. Like, it's a longer education process, and it's so in depth. Like, how far you want to go down that road. So I'm working with Laura at the moment. We're trying to bring together something where we can use that in the pack process to sort of educate our clients more. But we've got to do that really early, because there's a lot in that. And so for us, it's refining that pack process and working more on that. We've done really good jobs for exactly the type of clients that we want to work for, and I'm really proud and happy that we've got such a good client base. For us now, it's moving into the type of jobs we want to do, and focusing more on that healthy home side of things. So passive house as well. We'd love to get one of those under our hat, but for us, I think the healthy home thing for us is huge. So we're also looking at, I want to systemize more of the on-site stuff at the moment. So we did a lot of work on our office side of things. And so bringing that to our team and bringing that systemization on site, that's what's next for the next 12 months for sure.
How do you think you can systemize it on site? Like, a lot of people think it's impossible. That we both.
I think just keeping it simple. Like, I can go pretty overboard with everything. Like, and once I jump into something, I'm like, yeah, do everything. But I got to kind of rein it back, and I think making it simple is the key. So we have the systems for our on-site team, but we're actually bringing just checklists in now. So just having them more as a checklist and following those systems, and having the system as a visual, but just using smaller checklists and having them front of mind where they need to be done and when they need to be done.
Yeah. And how do you go about getting your team to follow those systems?
Oh, look, like we've the main ones we've used, basically like pre-plaster checklists for insulation, all that sort of stuff, waterproofing, framing, obviously before the insulation comes. But they're the key ones that we've focused on, because they're like probably the most important.
Yeah.
And from there, we're just going to keep it simple and just gradually build it out, because I don't want it to be this overwhelmed thing that kind of just gets forgotten about then. So I think keep it simple for now and slowly introduce it.
It's got to be simple, hasn't it? Like, I know that's my motto in my business. Like, if it's not simple, I won't use it, and my team won't use it.
Yeah.
Mate, before we wrap it up, like, for listeners out there listening to this that might be in a tough spot, business maybe isn't going to plan, life might be a little bit hard, like, what advice could you give them?
I think I think for one, to be teachable, like be willing to learn from your mistakes, learn from other people, not just sort of go it on your own like a bull at a gate and, think you know everything, because there's so much that all of us don't know. And also not to shy away from the data and the hard work, because I think it's very easy to hide in the shrubs and hide in the things that you think you should be doing when you know deep down where you should be focusing and fronting up to the issues that you're having. So,
yeah. Couple more I keep thinking about. Like, I should have made some more notes for yours, but what do you do, mate, to chill out? Like, you've already said you love work, you're a workaholic, you get into it, but like, what do you do to...
nature for me. Like, I'm huge on just getting back into nature. Like, I used to, when I was young, I did a lot of hiking, a lot of overnight hikes and stuff like that. For me, it just grounds us and brings us back. Going camping with our kids. We live sort of on the bush, so it's like next to the national parks and stuff. So even if it's just a walk with the family in through the bush or a mountain bike ride, but we do a lot of camping and stuff for us, and that's, for me, that's where I de-stress.
Yeah, it's important to get time for yourself, isn't it?
Yeah.
And with kids and partner and stuff, but do you take time out for yourself?
I do, yeah. I think I do pretty good with that. Like, I don't keep super busy. Like, when I'm not at work, I'm with my family, and that's it. I don't find the need to be going to all these different events and things. To just keep it simple, and that's where I want to be.
Yeah, it's a happy place.
Happy place. Come home and cuddle a chicken, and everything's all good.
Mate, last one before we wrap it up. I want to ask you, so I'm assuming your relationship with your old boy is really, really good, but how's he go with seeing how you're doing things now in your business compared to what he's doing in his business?
I mean, I don't think we've really spoken about it, but I think I know he's proud of, what I've done, but he's still doing his thing. He's still building. So, I think it's good to see, not like, I guess I don't know, to be short.
Are you in the same area?
Yeah. We're in the same area. Yeah.
So is it?
We've got a standard father and son relationship. We keep it all very shallow.
So what's going to happen the day you get a set of drawings across your desk that your old man's pricing it as well? Like,
we don't do tenders, mate.
Very good, very good. No, mate, look, it's been a pleasure having you on. I really appreciate you taking the time out to come up here and have a chat. Is there anything you want to get out before we wrap it up? You've done well, mate.
I got a question.
Yeah.
So with your businesses and everything you've got going on, how do you, because I see the way you run everything, right, and the way you've got so much good time with your family as well and your girls, like, how do you manage your time that well?
Well, you mentioned a book before called The Gap and the Gain.
Yeah.
He's got another really good book called Who Not How.
Yeah.
Have you read that?
I think I have. Yeah.
I've actually only listened to that book recently, but I've been doing that for 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, I used to get so worked up about trying to figure out the how that I would lose sleep. I wouldn't achieve what I wanted to achieve because I'd just get so lost in how am I going to do it.
Yeah.
As soon as I changed it to who's going to help me, like, instead of how am I going to do it, mate, everything just started. And I feel in the last 2 years that I've just grown and grown and grown that. So the first question I ask now with every single idea I have is like, who's going to help me? And so that's how I get my time. And one thing that I really value my time. I think this is another really important thing. I really believe that true freedom, and everyone's got different views on freedom, but you can't have freedom without wealth, because wealth is what's going to give you the freedom, and they go hand in hand. And I really think once you truly value your time and you guard it like a temple, everything else just start, like the wealth comes. So yeah, my thing is I'm always finding who can help me reach my goals rather than me trying to bust my ass doing myself. And I've talked about it a lot, like across my businesses, Live Life Build's got an incredible team. My building business has got an amazing team, like between my supervisors, my carpenters and team on site, like most importantly, my amazing wife in the office, Sharon, our accounts manager. We've got multiple VAs now.
Yeah.
Like Shay does recording of the podcast. We've got a really good producer now. I figure out who's going to help me get to where it is, and I don't put a dollar value on it. Like, that's another thing that really used to hold me back and take my time away from my family. Was I would get a price for someone to help me.
Yeah.
Like whatever could have been whatever, lawyer, accountant, could have been whatever, and I'd go, fuck that. I'm not paying that much money.
Yeah.
And then I would be the idiot up till all hours of the night or weekends trying to do that work.
Yeah.
And back then, I was so focused on the dollar value instead of the time, and like I was wasting my time because that took all my time away from my family.
Yeah.
So I pay more money now for people to help me than I ever thought I would. Like, best accountants, best lawyers, best solicitors, best team members. And so you've got to weigh up. You've got to weigh up the value. Like, what you paying a cost to have that person help you? What value is that adding to you? And to me, the value is they're going to get the job done, probably better than I would, because they know what they're doing. So I'm getting the value of them doing it in a timely manner, but I'm also getting the value of I get to spend time with people or enjoying what I want to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, who not how, mate.
Love it.
I'd highly recommend that book for anyone that hasn't listened to it. It's a game changer.
Yeah. Awesome.
All good?
Thank you.
Well, mate, appreciate you coming up. Look, guys, as usual, make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Let us know what you want us to talk about on the podcast. Let us know if you're out there and you want to be a guest on the podcast. If you haven't been to the DuaynePearce.com website yet and purchased the merchandise to get on board with the Level Up movement, make sure you do. And we look forward to seeing you on the next podcast. Help us continue making this Australia's #1 podcast. And we'll see you on the next one. All right, guys, I want to introduce you to a really exciting new product that I believe is going to play a massive role in Australia building healthier homes. As you all know, I am extremely passionate about healthy homes, and I'm doing a lot of research and putting a lot of time and effort into making sure my construction business is leading the way when it comes to building healthy homes here in Australia. We've teamed up with the guys from Highwood Timber. Highwood Timber are pioneering condensation management with their high-flow ventilated LVL batten system. High-flow battens give builders a stronger, straighter and smarter way to create a ventilated cavity behind cladding and underneath roofs, without compromising on structural performance. While tackling condensation to improve building health and ease of installation, Highwood battens are built to perform. When it comes to dealing with condensation and ventilation, high-flow battens will help you create continuous ventilated cavities behind all your cladding and underneath your roof sheeting. They reduce condensation risk and support healthier, longer-lasting buildings. Highwood timber battens are also in alignment with the proposed NCC condensation management requirements, as well as passive house ventilation requirements. Being an engineered LVL product, they are stronger, straighter, and more dimensionally stable than a solid material such as pine. This helps resist warping, twisting, and shrinkage, ensuring more consistent installs, less prone to splitting than solid timber. Highwood timber battens are precisely manufactured, meaning that your installation will be faster and easier than other products on the market. The part that I like the most about these battens are they are H3 treated for long-term protection against decay and termites. They use a waterborne H3 treatment which reduces reactivity with membranes and adhesives when compared to LOSP. These are the exact battens that you want to be using on your homes and your builds if you are considering building healthier homes or passive homes. Check them out, Highwood Timber Products.